Hey coaches, welcome to the coaching call. Thank you so much for being here, taking time out of your busy day to join yours truly, Coach AJ, founder of thebossof.me, where I love helping coaches confidently convert conversations to clients, cash, checks, and credit cards. We are going to discuss the top 5 objections that every coach must overcome, but most don't. That's the bad news. A lot of coaches don't know what to do. I'm going to show you what to do during our time together. Before we get started, let me let you know we have an upcoming personal life coach certification course live here in Atlanta through fastcoachtraining.com with yours truly as the trainer. If you or someone you know is listening to this call, or maybe it's at the top of your mind to share, send them over to fastcoachtraining.com, or you head over to fastcoachtraining.com. Check out our upcoming life coach certification course training dates and join us. By the way, if you've gone through the training successfully, of course, you get a $50 referral fee. So again, head over to fastcoachtraining.com or share it with someone you know would make a great coach. Thank you so much for your interest in growing your coaching business, and we're about to dive in. So, for those of you who are tuning in to Facebook Live, shouts out to Shayla Bell. Hey, Roz, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you. I see the love, the likes, the hearts, the thumbs up. You know I love the engagement. Let me give you what you came for. The first thing we know as coaches is that we have to make sales. We have to make money. There's someone somewhere depending on us to be successful at this thing called coaching. Well, little do a lot of us know, especially when we're new to the coaching industry, is that we are required to do what's known as ask for the sale. That's where you get a person on the phone. And if you have been coaching with us before and you heard one of our coaching calls where I shared with you the 5 secret sales techniques to use when you are talking to a potential client, I've shared with you different strategies to have in your coaching agreements. But before you get to that sale, before they say yes, before they give you that credit card, that cash, or their checks, before they say yes to becoming your client, there are some things that your potential client may say that's known as an objection during your coaching call, during your free strategy session, during that moment where it's your spotlight to convince a potentially new client on why they should coach with you. I'm going to share with you 5 of the top ways, starting with my number 1 favorite way. And you guys know I teach sales in a certain part of my coaching business, or let me put it like this, I have in a past life. Okay. So I remember hosting an event here in Atlanta and meeting a lady who had followed me to a couple of events. So she is a fan of my work. She had purchased a book. She's heard me speak. She's attended one of my workshops. We met up at another person's book signing event. And little did we know, we were just moments away from each other when it came to going out, teaching, learning, but she preferred to learn from me. Well, when we talked more about what her coaching needs were, of course, again, she had purchased a book, she had seen me at several events, and now it was this spotlight moment I just mentioned to you guys where we're on the phone and we're chatting, and I'm asking her all these questions. And by the way, one of our upcoming calls, I'm going to tell you the right questions to ask during these free coaching sessions where you're trying to make the sale and you're trying to overcome these objections. But I remember asking her, what are your goals for your business? And by the way, if you don't know, I am a certified master business coach. So that means I help women grow their businesses. Whether you want to write your book, you want to speak, you want to create your own coaching program, I help you tell your story to make more money in your business and do what I mentioned earlier, bring in those cash, checks, and credit cards from those new clients. But anyway, back to the story. We get on the phone. I asked her what her vision was for her new business. She knew I was the one she wanted, but she also knew that there was something holding her back. And her first objection to me on this call was, AJ, I'm waiting on a big surge of money. Like I had a accident and I'm expecting a settlement. It's going to be like this large payday. Or maybe you're even like me. You were on a call and someone says, I played the lottery and I have this ticket that I scratched off and I'm waiting for the ticket to pay off. Or maybe they're waiting on an inheritance or a big windfall, or they want to hit the jackpot in Vegas. Or they say something like this. Well, my cousin or my aunt or my uncle, brother, father, mother, sister, grandmother, grandpa, they name everybody in the family. They say, I'm waiting on that person to pay me back. I'm waiting on this big surge of money to come in. And when they pay me what I loaned them a few years ago, It'll come any day now. Trust me. And when they do, now let's go back to my conversation with this lady that wanted to hire me. Her answer is somewhere in these answers that you probably are familiar with and you've heard as well. She said, when I get my settlement from an accident that I had, I promise you, I'll be rich and I'll be ready to coach with you. Now, I laugh because that was the first time I had ever heard of someone telling me to wait on them to strike it big in Vegas, in a car accident settlement, in a lawsuit, and then they'll be ready to coach. Here was my response to her, and here's how you can creatively respond to this objection as well. When they say, I'm waiting to get paid, I'm waiting on somebody to pay me back, when we know that person's probably not going to pay them back, especially if it's been a few years, then you can let them know, hey, listen, when we get rich as people, believe me, coaching is the last thing we think about, especially when you're waiting on a big windfall of cash. Until maybe that moment comes where that big windfall of cash starts disappearing and then you become broke again. Maybe you'll consider coaching because you'll be like, oh, well, maybe I should get on the right track because my money's running out. Now, this, again, is a true conversation that I had with someone who was interested in working with me. But I had to let her know that when you make money, when you get that $100,000 check in the mail from whatever you're waiting to be paid from, coaching is the farthest thing from your mind. It's not even on your mind because you're thinking, oh, I'm rich. I don't need a coach. I don't need someone to help me to live a better life. Not realizing that the best step you can make is to invest while you're ahead so that when that money does come, if it ever does come, you'll be ready for the next steps. So that's my favorite one of 5. We have 4 more to go. If you guys are live with us, feel free to put your favorite sales objection in the comments and we'll talk about those if we have time. You know, we only have a few short minutes here together, but I would love to hear what your experience has been with these people wanting to wait to get paid large sums of money from family members or inheriting money or just this big lottery day that they're dreaming about before they say they'll be ready to hire you. What are some of your funny stories that you've experienced? I just thought that was funny with mine. But what I did leave her with was just letting her know that people like myself, we're here. We're in your corner, we're rooting for you, and we're waiting to work on your behalf with you to make your dreams come true. So that way, you know, you're not leaving that client or that potentially new client with just this dream of someday making money, and then maybe they'll scrounge and find your business card and call you later. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 of the 5 potential client objections that you may get on a coaching call. One client may say, you know what, AJ? I've tried other courses before. And, you know, I've had several of these calls. I've been in business for about 13 years, guys. I've been coaching successfully the last 5 or so. And I have had so many calls. One in particular, I remember a lady called and she said, AJ, I signed up for this massive coaching program with one of the big name coaches. She said, but you know what? I didn't really get what I needed. And I still feel confused. But I'm also not sure that if I say yes to you or if I work with you or sign up for you, although I know I need coaching because I've had it before and it kind of worked, but I kind of didn't get the results I needed. I'm not sure that I'll actually have the time to dedicate to even working with you right now. So I'm thinking it may be too much for me right now, but if I say yes to coaching with you, how much time will it take for me to be successful from coaching with you? Have you guys ever had that Facebook Live? Has anyone ever asked you, hey, how long would it take for me to be successful coaching with you? So I've had that call. I've had the calls of clients or potential coaching clients saying, AJ, what's your success rate? And this is what the conversation often leads to. So when someone tells you that they've tried coaching before, but they didn't get the results that they needed, but they're considering working with you, but they're afraid it may take too much time to become quote unquote successful, I like to make the recommendation that number 1, success is how you define it. So my success, my client's success will not be a new client success because everyone defines success differently. So first clarify what their definition of success is. And then I confidently let new clients know the minute you coach with me, you'll get immediate access to some pre-work. That means you'll have some homework before we actually get on the phone. And if you really want to gain the certain traction that you're looking for your definition of success, I suggest that you dig in right away. So block out the time to do the work that we assign together as soon as I assign it. And then be on time for our live calls, because coaching one-on-one is a time commitment. But if you commit to doing the work, blocking out the time, getting started right away, and at least spending a minimum of 1 hour, maybe 2 per week throughout our time together, just on your coaching assignments, you will be further ahead than when you first started. So what that's doing, guys, is guaranteeing the client that they have the work to do, but if they do it, they won't worry about what your success rate is, what your other client's success has been, because they're focused on their own definition of success, and they know that it takes them putting in the work to get that level of success. But I go on further to let my clients know that our coaching calls are designed to hold them accountable. For those of you listening right now, if you've ever coached with me, you know I hold you accountable. And that way we make sure you stay on track. So go back through some of our previous calls that we've done before. You guys have heard me talking about keeping a track of progress, because you start out asking the client what they expect. Go back to what their definition of success is, so that when you look at a certain point, let's say midway through your coaching with them together, you can see if you guys have been able to stay on track. But I let them know that I want them to be engaged. I want them to be accountable, and I want them to stay on track. And my coaching system is designed to support them to do just that, but it's based on their own pace. So they get to work at their own pace. It's not me pressuring them to do anything. It's me being there as a coach to remind them of what they say they want. So that's our job as coaches, guys. If you're listening to this coaching call right now, that means you are a coach. You're fired up about helping your clients get to the next level. Your job is to ask them what that next level looks like. Maybe that next level of success in their life, their business, their health, their finances, their relationship, whatever you coach around. Your job is to bring them back to that point of reminding them of what they said they wanted and making sure they stay on track to get it. So that's number 2 of 5. The third coaching objection that you may hear on a call when people are considering coaching with you is, well, AJ, I have a lot going on in my life right now. You know, I have kids, I have a husband, I'm married full time. I work full time, so I don't have a lot of time to commit. That may be something that someone says to you. They fear that because they have so much going on in their life right now, their kids, their work, their marriage, that they won't have a lot of time to commit to the coaching process. Well, dear coach, your answer to this objection could be something like what I say, which is coaching with me will take as long as you give it. Many of my past and present clients have successfully completed our coaching sessions in less time than they originally expected. For example, when I first started coaching, I had a 90-day coaching program. I had several clients who finished in less than 90 days. Some clients did it in 18 days and 21 days. But that was because they got access to the information. They dug in right away. They committed that time each week to get their homework done. They showed up to the calls. They asked questions, and they were ready to invest in themselves. They weren't going to wait on someone to help them pay their way to do it. So you let your clients know that just because they have a lot going on in their life, so do all your other clients, and so do you. But you're their coach. You believe in where they're going. And so you let them know that you have opened up that space to say for them to help them to get where they say they want to be. So what I also like to say, now I have a few friends, a few coaches, a few past clients who have had kids as they coached with me. And so especially if this new potential client has young kids, they will give you every excuse in the book about why the kids need them for blank. And so my saying to all the clients that would blame their kids, I would always say, don't blame them babies. No, I'm country. I'm from Douglasville, Georgia. So we're deep south. And so that's my southern dialect coming out. But translation is, do not put what you put off on your kids. Because what I do know and what I remember from growing up is that school around here starts at about 7:30 and it gets out about 3 o'clock. And then even if you're working, you have a lunch break, you have before work, you have after work, you have vacation time, you have paid time off, you have the weekend. So there are times when you're not with your kids. Trust me, I don't know anyone who spends 100% of their time with their kids or with their husband. Now, I'm not telling you to neglect your duties as a wife or as a mother or father, But what I am saying is don't blame them babies, okay? Don't put that off on your kids, because when you look up, your kids will admire your dedication and your tenacity to leave a legacy for them, to start building your dream, to live and provide a better life. Doesn't that sound exciting? I know it sounds exciting for me just saying it. But what I also let this potential client know is that when you start to build a business, or when you hire a coach to help you get to the next level, your side hustle game needs to be stronger than your commitment to outside distractions. I'm going to say that again really slow. Your side hustle game needs to be stronger than your commitment to outside distractions. Now that's a tweetable and a quotable, and it's not mine. I heard another coach say it, but I was like, "Ooh, that's good. I'm going to share this on the coaching call." So again, if you're committed to getting from where you are to where you want to be, your side hustle game has to be stronger than those outside distractions, than scrolling Instagram, than looking at Facebook, than watching reality TV, or than blaming the babies. Okay. So that's just the way you can answer the objection to, I have a lot going on in my life right now. I have kids, I have work, I have a husband or a wife or a family. I have a ton of time commitment. And if you've been professionally trained, especially through fastcoachtraining.com, we do an exercise that goes through time. So if you've ever been in the class and you had some extra time, there's an activity that teaches you about time and how to break down your time and show your clients where those extra hours are. So you walk through them with a typical day, a typical week, you add up those hours, and then you'll be able to show them why they really can commit to coaching with you to get their life to the next level. So that is how you answer 3 of 4 of the sales objections that may come up on these free coaching calls, or when you talk to someone who's considering hiring you as their client. Number 4. A potential client may ask you something like, well, AJ, how can I invest in myself if I'm not making money in my business or in my work, or if I don't really have any money coming in? Now, again, I'm a business coach, so I'm going to answer this from my perspective. So my answer to the question about, well, what if I don't have money coming in from my business is, if you choose and decide to believe, know, and understand that how you show up now in your business is exactly how your clients will show up for you. Now, this may even strike a chord for some of the coaches on the call right now, because however you're showing up in your business right now is exactly how your clients are going to show up. And that's what I share with potential clients. So when I would get the calls about helping a woman grow her business, because you guys know I coach women, helping them grow their successful coaching business. But if they're telling me, well, AJ, I'm not making a lot of money, I have to remind them as their potential coach that, well, that's the reason you called me, right? But if you take a moment to choose, to decide, to believe, to know, to understand that exactly at this moment, how you show up now in your business is exactly how your future clients will show up for you, you have to place yourself in a position to invest in you, and your future clients will do the same. Now, this actually came from one of my $1 million mentors, and she calls this business karma. She says, this is how you show up, and this is how your clients will show up. So this is what I share with potential clients and coaches. You can do the same thing. Remind a client of however they're showing up in their life right now, or in whatever area you coach in. That's exactly how their clients are going to show up when they sign up to coach with them. Then I let them know that I really do encourage that if they want to move from where they are to where they want to be, I encourage them to find a way that works best for you. Find a level that I offer in coaching to invest in us coaching together. I also let them know that payment arrangements are available, and they may even have to be bumped down just a little, because let me be honest and frank. When I show up and people see my personality and they feel my energy and they say, yes, AJ, I'm ready. Let's go. I want you to be my coach. And then they hear my coaching price for one-on-one. They say, whoa, hold up. Can I afford it? Am I ready? Can I really do this? And I may have to bump them down just a little. And coaches, you have the power to do the same. Now, what do I mean by bumping them down? What I mean is you may have to encourage them to start by reading some of your books and implementing the actions that you share in those books. Now, that's for those of you who have written books and share some coaching tips and give people a sample of what it's like to coach with you. So there have been times when I have had to share this, and you may have to share, hey, listen, you may even also have to visit my blog or follow the free positive social media posts that I share if you're unable to make space for your exponential growth in your life and in your business at this moment by coaching one-on-one with me. Now, I know it's frank, but that's what my clients hire me for. So for those that have decided to coach with me, for those that have chosen to find the investment to coach, for those who know that how they show up is how their clients are going to show up, and those that understand that they have to invest to go to their next level, they have found a way to work with me. They have read the blogs. They have read the books. They have seen my social media posts. They have reached out to me, and they have made space to go to the next level. So you have to be confident enough in your coaching to say, hey, listen, I have other ways for you to, quote, work with me. And some people will be happy with that. I've had people excited just to pay $15 for one of my books. And they say, AJ, this is all the coaching I need and can afford at this moment. And I'm okay with that. And honestly, as their future potential coach, I'm okay with that as well. If they feel like a book is exactly what they need, recommend them to your books. They may not be ready to invest with you one-on-one at the moment, and you have to be okay with that. But you also have to provide a space where there are other levels to, quote, work with you or follow you, like your blog. And we'll talk about that in an upcoming coaching call as well. Doing your blog the right way, getting people to follow you on social media, and then making sure that even in your free content or even in your lower cost content where it's not one-on-one coaching, they get that same value because they see who you are as a coach. Okay. That's tip number 4 of 5 in the sales objections that could come up in the top 5 sales objections when you're talking with people and getting them to consider you as their coach. And finally, the potential objection that may come up on a sales call in person when someone's looking for a coach and you want to be that coach. 5 of 5 says, I am really just watching where my money goes right now, and I'm not sure it's safe to invest. If a potential client says that to you, you again have to be open and honest. Just like I told you to offer those cheaper levels, if you will, those more affordable investments to work with you. Your answer to this objection could be, if now is not the ideal time for you and I to coach together, only you can make that decision right now. Only you know where you currently are in your life or in your business. And only you know and understand that you've tried whatever you've tried on your own already to get you exactly where you want to be. And that is most likely what got you here on the phone with me in where you currently are in your life and in your business. However, one thing I can assure you is that this is the lowest investment amount that coaching one-on-one with me will ever be again. And that's the honest truth. So if that is your truth, if you know, like me, that your prices go up, the more value you bring, the more certifications you get, the more books you read, the more classes, conferences, seminars, events that you attend and that you teach, you know that you are becoming more and more value, more and more worthy and worth a higher price. You can let that potential client know that they will never be able to pay the price that you're getting ready to quote them again. And that helps them to consider all 5 of the objections. If they told you that they're not sure about investing or if it's safe or they're watching their money, you can advise them that it's okay to watch your money, but you're also going to watch my prices rise. So you may want to get in where you fit in at this moment. Okay. That's just being honest with your clients. So if you know your value as a coach and you know that you can encourage your clients to invest in themselves, even if they feel like they're not where they want to be financially, you have to help them show up. You are their coach. You give them that option to choose, to decide, to believe, to know, and to understand that the way they show up is how their future clients are going to show up. And that you're here to work with them, whether it's a payment arrangement or a lower level investment, you are here to give them that best option. And you're here to help make space for them going to the next level in their life right now, not in the future, not when they're waiting on a future payment, not when they hear you speak somewhere else. not at a moment they're waiting on a sale or a discount. If you put it out there that they can invest in themselves, even if they feel like, well, I have a lot going on in my life right now. I have kids, I have work, I have family. You can tell them, like I tell my clients, don't blame them babies. And coaching with me will take as long as you give it. So let them know your success rates, but let them know that you also want to know how they define success and that their kids are looking up to them for that meaning of success and them living it out and how dedicated and tenacious they are in their side hustle game because they're not distracted by anything. And the most important thing you want to do is let your clients know that although they have a lot going on, so do you, so do your present clients. But even if they've tried other coaches before, other courses before, and they're not sure they want to really dedicate because of the time commitment, then you put it out there for whether or not you're open for negotiation. If you're willing to say, listen, my clients have had a 90-day program they committed in 21 days. I gave them back, 69 of their days back. That's life. I help you find more time to grow your business, to grow your life. And when you look up, you have the success you want because as soon as I gave you the work, you did the work, you blocked out the time, you showed up to our calls, you stayed on track, you stayed in touch with me, and you got the support you needed to go to the next level. So guys, I hope these tips have helped you with these 5 potential top sales objections that a lot of coaches get, but most of them don't know how to answer them, especially my favorite one about the one waiting on a lottery payment or an insurance settlement. So I hope these tips have helped you guys. I want to give us a few minutes. If anyone is live with us and have a question, I'm coming to the phone line as we speak. I'm going to open it up for Q&A. So Facebook Live, what questions do you have? Go ahead and put it in the comments below and I'll be happy to look at it. And even if you're listening to this coaching call after we're no longer live, still put your comments in the discussion box below in the comments. And I would love to come back and have an engaging conversation about how you can take your sales objections to the next level by being prepared. That's the only way you can overcome sales objections. And so what we've talked about tonight is the reason a lot of people don't like making, quote, sales calls is because questions like this come up. But the way you defeat sales objections, especially those top 5, is by being prepared. Just have your answers prepared. So what questions do you have as I open Q&A on our conference line? All right, so Q&A session has started on our live conference line. If you are live with us on the conference line and you have questions, press *6. Again, that's *6 on your phone and you'll be placed in queue to answer a question. Facebook Live, thank you so much for hanging out. Pixie Lee, Celeste, thank you guys. Shayla Bell and Roz, I appreciate you guys for being here with us during the coaching call. What questions can I answer for you while we are counting down our next 3 minutes together? What questions do you have, guys? All right, conference line. So I don't see anyone in queue. Again, you have a few seconds to get it in there. Just press *6. You'll be placed in queue. And Facebook Live, you know, we keep the conversation going over in our private group for fastcoachtraining.com alumni. Again, we have an upcoming training. So if you're looking to make an extra $50 and you got certified as a life coach through fastcoachtraining.com, make sure you send someone over to fastcoachtraining.com to get certified. All right, guys, so I take it that no one has a question. And even if you do, put it in the comments below wherever you are listening online. All right, I'm going to leave you with this. There is someone somewhere waiting on you, dear coach, to walk in your destiny so that they can walk into theirs, because it's when you let your light shine as a coach, you give others permission to do the same. I'm Andrika J. Austin, founder of thebossof.me. Head over to fastcoachtraining.com or send someone there. And I will see you guys here same time next week, same place. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless. Bye-bye.